Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to more episodes of Let's Play Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. You might be wondering why we are back in front of the bridge to the Storyteller's Tower. One of my commenters pointed out, I think it was David Davison. He pointed out that I never actually picked up the hint coins that were in this particular spot. I could have sworn I did, but I came back and I found that no, I never did pick up the coins. So we are back here for a quick detour just so I can pick up these coins and you guys can see where they are. So the first one, which I was already hovering over, is right here. Next one is somewhere on this tower. And then the last one is the infamous moon hint coin. Like, okay, seriously, how do you get the hint coin from the moon? I do not understand. Whatever. But anyway. Alright, now that we've got all those hint coins, and I'm pretty sure I caught up on stuff now. Yo. Yo, why can't I get back up? Eh. Do I have to, like, actually enter the tower? That's stupid. I didn't have to do that trying to get down! Okay. Now we can move? Excellent. Up the stairs we go! Alright, back in the storyteller's room. Anyway, what? We're looking for more hint coins now before we go start the puzzles, actually, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. What is all this stuff? Ooh, that thing's moving. Cool.
Look, Professor! A photograph! Wait, I didn't think they even had photographs in this town.
Indeed, it's not the kind of thing one would have expected to find here. Well, then again, we have a mechanical elevator.
Too right! I certainly haven't seen any cameras since we've got here. There's no doubt that this is a photo, though. What could that mean?
This may be in some way related to the tower being so closely protected. What do you see in the photograph, Luke?
There are 2 children, both young girls.
Hello! The photo looks quite old, doesn't it?
I wonder who they are.
Really, Luke? Really? I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious. At least the blonde hair is totally Espella. But if you happen to notice around their necks, they're wearing a certain pendant. Well, one of them is surely Espella. There can be little doubt about that.
Hey, you're right! And look at that pendant! It's the same one Espella always wears.
The fact that she continues to wear it ever since shows just how important that pendant must be to her.
What about this other girl? Do you think she's a friend of Espella's?
Indeed, I'd wager the 2 of them were rather close friends at that.
They do look pretty chummy, right? Alright. See, they even have the same pendant.
A glimpse into Espella's past. This may well prove to be an important clue. I would like to ask her about it face to face. Let's borrow it for the time being.
Yoink. I wonder if there are any other clues knocking around.
Well, I'd say the something that you thought you saw moving earlier is a point worth pursuing.
But isn't this the last room in the tower? I must have just been imagining things.
Not necessarily, Luke. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a way of getting beyond even this room. Let's look around more closely.
Right you are, Professor!
Alright. This room is very dark. I'm not sure if it's coming up on the cameras at all. But let's interact with this piano over here.
This is...
What is it, Luke?
This letter on top of the piano. This was evidence during that trial.
That trial, my boy.
Yes, the trial about Sir Belduke's death. The trial when you were...
Ah, you mean when I was turned to gold. In which case, this letter is the one that the storyteller's owl Hoot gave us after we last paid him a visit.
Well, yes, it is, but That letter was completely blank, wasn't it?
Indeed it was.
That was meant to be Sir Belduke's suicide note, which he addressed to the storyteller.
His suicide note, you say?
But Sir Belduke's butler swapped the letter for some plain sheets of parchment before it got delivered. And those blank sheets were given to us by Mr. Hoot, who knew something was strange about them.
I see. I certainly missed out on some intriguing developments during my absence.
The real suicide note must be revealed at the trial. But how has it ended up here?
Well, I imagine that's quite simple, Luke. It's likely that after the trial finished, the letter was returned to its rightful owner. It was addressed to the storyteller, after all.
Right. I guess that does make sense. I suppose the storyteller finally had a chance to actually read it then.
Yes. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that he most likely did so very recently, perhaps even today, while sitting at the piano. What on earth was going through his mind here before the final parade? There's something we're not seeing here. We need to investigate this closely, Luke.
What could it be? Surely this is not a trap of some kind.
It's unlikely that a trap would be so obvious. Just a moment. There's some kind of puzzle in this piano. Of course there is. Below the stained glass window is written, "When the stars have aligned, the goddess shall pluck her harp, bringing forth her serene song, rearrange the musical notes to create a lovely melody." Alright, so this puzzle is actually very easy. The problem is, if you don't have a way to, like, screenshot, see how quick that goes? Basically, she puts up musical notes on the screen, but you have to basically wait a couple, like, for a bit of time before it reaches her, like, the middle, like the top of her head. The harp reaches the top of her head, and you only have a split second to see those notes. So this could take a while. But since I do have a screenshot of it sitting somewhere nearby, I'll make this really quick. Otherwise we'll be here for quite a while. Just checking to make sure I put this down right.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills.
Excellent. Very easy puzzle, just kind of tedious.
Solving puzzles.
Look, Professor! A stairway just appeared. Could there be another room above this one?
I have a feeling that the rooftop we saw from the garden continues above here.
Oh, I can see what you mean, Professor. It's really dark in here, but moonlight seems to be coming in from up above.
Well, there's no turning back now. The answer to the biggest mystery of all is surely waiting for us ahead.
I think so too, Professor. I wonder what on earth it could be.
The next step in the storyteller's story, if I'm not mistaken.
The next step? But the story has already finished, hasn't it?
Not yet, Luke. It's still a little too soon for the ending.
I had a feeling that you, of all people, would make it this far.
It's you!
I thought so. You are still alive.
Professor Layton, I've had enough of your running around, flagrantly contravening the flow of my story. As such, I can no longer ignore your meddling.
Professor!
Thank you, my boy.
Just to clarify, he does have those mad skills in his own game. Also, this music is so epic! But yeah, if you don't know Professor Layton games, he is extremely OP in his own game. All that the storyteller writes is destined to come true. Your opponent's attacks are no exception. Memorize the storyteller's tale and deflect your opponent's predetermined moves. I'm afraid your role in the story ends here, Professor. Now allow me to write the tale of your demise. Okay. This one. Countered! Well played, Professor. But how will you fare in this tragic tale? A new knight stepped in for his fallen comrade. He slashes quickly, delivering 3 blows before finishing the battle with a 3-hit combination attack. It's a frickin' memory game, guys. Okay. Go! Think you worked it out, do you? Let's see if you can predict the ending of this final chapter. The final knight drew his sword. As he attacked, he began to vanish into thin air, his movements veiled in the embrace of the shadows. Well, okay. Okay, remember? No. This should be the answer. Boom!
Let's see if I've proven myself. Ah, the joy of solving puzzles.
That was so epic, though. Marvelous!
Professor, behind you!
That just ain't fair. Or even possible.
Professor! Professor!
Silly Luke, the professor can't die!
Well, now, that was close.
Yeah!
Storyteller, I'm afraid that the power of your pen is no longer absolute.
Was that a nose flare?
You never fail to impress me, Professor Layton. Just tell me one thing. What exactly are you trying to achieve?
You could say, I'm trying to lift the veil that hangs over the town.
If that is indeed the case, the answer lies in the final story. This very evening, the great witch Vizela will be tried, and all stories will end. You should take your place in the gallery and observe the final trial.
Permit me, if I may, to ask you a question, Mr. Storyteller. Why is it that you are here?
What?
You too should be watching in the gallery, watching as your twisted story unfolds.
My twisted story? What do you mean by that?
You must surely be aware that your story has already become twisted. Take our arrival in this town, for instance. Not to mention our being here at this very moment. Neither of these things could have happened in the story you wrote. In other words, what I'm saying is that you are no longer the weaver of the tale.
It is as you say. The story I crafted has indeed been twisted out of proportion by someone else's actions. I'm not surprised that you realized. It seems nothing passes by those sharp eyes unnoticed. Sharp eyes indeed! That is exactly why I decided to write the grand finale. To prevent any further distortion. Do you mean to suggest that by ending the story, you could return this town to its original state? To its original state, you say? I'm afraid that is not the case. The entire truth behind Labyrinthia is sealed by a single spell. That's right, the final spell. The final spell, you say? When the spell is invoked, Labyrinthia's true form will become clear to all.
What kind of spell is that?
It is a spell that has always been hidden within plain view.
What's that supposed to mean?
Essentially, the final spell is concealed at the start.
The final spell is concealed at the start? What on earth are you talking about?
Bah. I thought you two took it upon yourselves to unravel mysteries, do you not? Okay, well, what about Phoenix and Maya? Where are they in this part of the play? Do what you will with it. Very well. Now then, I believe there's just one thing that you may wish to hear from me. And what would that be? Firstly, what would you say if I told you that this twisting of your story is leading towards a grand finale quite different to the one you had planned? What do you mean? This evening, you supposedly gave your life to the Great Witch Bezella, did you not? As a result, the person thought to be Bezella is being tried in court at this very moment. Now, if you'll permit me to ask, do you happen to know the name of the accused? Naturally, I wrote the name myself. There can be no question. Of course, the name of the accused is Espella Cantabella. What are you saying? You mean my Espella is... Yes, the accused at this evening's trial is none other than Espella Cantabella. That can't be. That's preposterous. That is your doing. What have you done, Layton? You ask me what I've done, Mr. Storyteller. I am but a solver of puzzles and mysteries. I do not concern myself with scheming. My Espella. Why? How is she the accused? Perhaps you ought to go and see for yourself, Mr. Storyteller. Do you think it's a good idea to just stand here lamenting your daughter's fate? What's to be done? Well, Mr. Storyteller, I will be returning to the court. I like to witness this grand finale with my own eyes. Yes, before I leave, there is one thing I'd like to make clear. I do not intend to simply take my place in the gallery and observe the trial. Oh, you guys know what that means, right? I don't even have to say it. Naturally, there's only one place for me to stand in order to unravel all of these mysteries. You mean to say that you will stand as the defender? Unfortunately, the defender's position is already taken. Moreover, Mr. Storyteller, I am the one who knows the truth. Of course you know the truth, but are you gonna tell us? No! Layton Games 101. Layton never reveals the truth until the very end. And how does he come to this truth? Nobody knows. But I will give this game some credit that you do actually get to explore more of Layton's investigation, how he gets to it, kind of. Still kind of annoying though. The true identity of the great Rizbazella, that is. How can you know? Because he's the professor. He knows everything. There's only one place at which I should stand in order to assert such a fact, and that is not on the side of the defense. Surely you can't mean. I anticipate seeing you again soon, Mr. Storyteller. I think we're at to be continued now? Yes, to be continued! Ooh. I think that's actually the end of chapter 8, even though we did have a to be continued in between it. Oh, also, yeah, I probably sound a little too aggressive about Layton Games, but, well, I will explain my, aggressiveness towards it later, when things are fully revealed properly. Anyway, saving the game! Oh, I need to stop doing that, because I don't know if the recording's good or not, and that would suck if it didn't record everything properly. The Last Inquisitor, which doesn't really need that much explanation. Rubble. Court is now once again in session. However, I must say, I'm quite surprised at this recent turn of events. To see Miss Kira at the witness stand once again. Frankly, I cannot believe my eyes. You were most certainly sent to the flames as a witch.
That's right! I was there! I saw it! She most certainly was!
Then how is she still alive?
Is it because she's a witch? Can witches not die?
No, she must have used Demir and vanished just in time.
I say, send her straight to the fire! We'll do it ourselves if we have to! Enough! A witch must be in possession of Atalia Magica in order to use magic. I hate to disappoint you all, but do you see such a thing on her person? I think not.
But she must have... That girl must have used Demir! Surely you can see that, High Inquisitor.
Demir is a spell able to make someone disappear from sight. It cannot make one vanish entirely. And besides, an investigation conducted by the Knights of the Inquisition has concluded that this girl is not capable of using magic.
Listen well, Miss Kira. Your existence alone jeopardizes the very peace of Labyrinthia, yet, given the current situation, it is now imperative that you testify to this court regarding what you saw, immediately.
Objection! That will not be necessary.
And why not? What?
This girl has already been convicted and tried as a witch in a previous trial. What good could come of her testimony?
Objection!
You're hiding something, Darklaw, but she was found hiding at the crime scene. I'd say that makes her a very important witness, a witness whose testimony we cannot choose to ignore. High Inquisitor Darklaw, I'm afraid your objection is overruled. Of course.
You wish to proceed, then? Very well. Let us see just how much of her story this girl is willing to tell the court, shall we?
Oh man, what was Kira's voice that I'd give her? Anyway, there's no doubt about it, Miss Kira must have escaped through the passage leading under the Chamber of Fire. Although, from the looks of it, the judge doesn't have a clue that escape route even exists.
I wish he hurried up and get the hint! I'm dying to take this helmet off already! The top of my head really itches!
Sorry, Maya. Take that thing off now, and we're good as done. Just hang in there a little while longer.
Aww!
Poor Maya. It's probably not good for her hair. Very well, witness. You may begin your testimony. Explain to the court how you are standing here in court today, and why you were hiding at the crime scene. Witness testimony! With creepy Kira.
I am not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldritch Woods.
I don't remember what I used for Kira's voice at all.
I came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller. As it rained, I waited near the bell tower next to the vigilantes for my chance. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that.
You came here to kill the storyteller?
Yes, that was my task.
Objection!
Keep in mind, this girl was not the one who summoned the fire dragon in the end. That was the accused. As I warned you earlier, there's nothing to be gained from this witch's testimony.
Objection!
Now hold on, she was still present at the scene of the crime with the intent to murder the storyteller. The defense insists we be permitted to continue with our cross-examination on those grounds. Darklaw is really trying to weasel her way out of this cross-examination. That means there has to be something there. I must admit, I too am extremely interested in hearing what this witness has to say. Defender, you may begin your interrogation. Alright, we're gonna press on I was only there to carry out my orders first.
Hold it!
Miss Kira, who exactly gave you your orders?
I cannot say.
And why is that?
I am not to disclose the identity of the one who has given me my orders. That, in itself, is an order.
How convenient. Of course.
I am only supposed to carry out my orders, nothing more. I do not know anything else. And besides, there's nothing more that I can really do.
Nothing more she can do? But hold on just a moment. Surely you are capable of using magic. You are a witch, are you not?
I am not a witch.
What did you just say?
I cannot use magic.
She can't use magic.
This girl is a witch. Every person in this courtroom knows that as a matter of fact. There can be nary a doubt.
Doesn't look like there's much to work with. Even though she just finished explaining everything, I still don't fully understand.
Oh man, Nick! You don't think this Kira is actually some sort of crazy magical zombie, do you?
Maya, you went through the same thing as Kira. Did you become a magical zombie?
Oh, yeah. I guess not, huh?
Luke and I couldn't believe it was Kira when we ran into her in the marketplace. I mean, we thought for sure she was a goner back at the trial. I don't think I'm far off, though. Oh, wait. I don't think I'm far off, though. This Kira is way different than the old Kira. It looks like she doesn't remember a thing. She's almost like another person entirely. But what if that's just it, Maya? What if the Kira right here, right now, is the real Kira, and the old Kira wasn't? The real Kira, huh? Yeah, that's why I think I'm bound to find something useful in her testimony.
We can do this, Nick! I hope you're ready to slam on some desk, because we're gonna do some serious pressing here.
We'll have to do the serious pressing in the next video because we are almost out of time. So I think this is a good spot to stop for now. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!